Do you feel like you don't matter if you don't have success? If you don't make money or you don't have a college degree? Well, then keep on watching because this video might just be for you. Hello boys and girls and everyone in between. My name is Isabel and I dedicate this channel to my fellow MBTI nerds because I am a very big one and I want to share my nerdiness with you guys. So this is the first video of my ENTJ confession series that will be covering a few struggles that I have as an ENTJ, but struggles that I hope that you can recognize as well, regardless of your personality type. This first video will be about obsession with success. And the reason that I chose this is, like I said before, I struggle with this and I hope I can help you guys out by explaining a little bit more about it and how I deal with it. So this is kind of hard for me to talk about, but I'm gonna do it anyway, so bear with me and let's dive in. First, I'll explain what I see as success. Then up next, what the cognitive functions have to do with the obsession part. Next, what the pros and cons are. And lastly, what you can do to help with your obsession with success. Now, what do I define as having success? When I think of a successful person, I think of someone who has a great social circle, who is very capable, has a lot of money, looks well put together, and has the power or rather influence to make a positive impact in this world. Yeah, so pretty much a very annoying person because this person sounds perfect. And I guess kind of full Bill Gates mode. Yeah, that would be it. That is what I would aspire to. So which cognitive functions make me want to go full Bill Gates mode? So for those of you who don't know, the different 16 personality types are divided in different letters. And those letters are actually based on cognitive functions. And the cognitive functions that the letters are based on are the ones that the types use the most. So for me as an ENTJ, I use 4 cognitive functions the most. And the one that I use the most is extroverted thinking. Then comes introverted intuition, then extraverted sensing, then introverted feeling. And I say it in this order because the one that I use most is the one that I'm the best at. And the one that comes last and I use last is the one that I, am not really great at, to say the least. By the way, if you guys are listening and you think, what the heck is she talking about? I don't understand any of this. Just let me know. I will be happy to make some videos explaining each of the cognitive functions fully. Okay, so hopefully you'll understand that. Otherwise, I'm a bad teacher. So what do these cognitive functions mean for me? Extroverted thinking, the one I use most, makes sure that I feel like I have to conform to the norm of society and be my most efficient self. So basically, I really care what people think and I need to perform like people want me to perform. And since this is my most used function, the pressure is really strong in this one. Introverted intuition gives me a vision of what I really want my life to be like and what type of impact I want to make. And the next, extroverted sensing, is the cognitive function that makes me want to put that vision that I have into the real world. So if I dream of something and think of something, that I better freaking make it work in real life. And lastly, the introverted feeling function is the one that I suck at. So I'm not really good at that one, which makes me insecure at times, especially about the things that I want to accomplish. So my goals. So what they say about ENTJs with the soft and gushy sender is kind of accurate. Unfortunately. These functions propel me towards wanting success and maybe even getting success. And that has its benefits. For instance, having a good career or having other accomplishments. And, those accomplishments can make sure that you grow in your life into your skills, etc. And it can also make sure that you get other opportunities that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten if you don't want to grow at every turn. With a good career and good accomplishments also comes good money. And let's face it, I'm not saying that money is the thing that makes you happy, but it does give you a certain sense of freedom because you never have to worry about making ends meet. You can travel anywhere you like, or maybe buy that dream house or that limited edition, mint condition, one of a kind Lord of the Rings sword. So next to the cool gadgets that you can get, another benefit is also that other people will approve of you. Because I think we all know that usually in today's society, it's kind of, I would say, the norm to make money or get rich or be famous or maybe even both. So having accomplished that is seen as impressive. Now we're really getting into the feels and the nitty gritty. So I'm gonna take my coffee and hopefully I'll survive this together with you. So, the drawbacks of this. The first one I want to talk about is perfectionism, and that's something that's very well known, I think, not only for ENTJs, but for, well, everyone maybe? I don't know. Perfectionism, yeah. So, to reach success in a certain field, you will have to deliver something that's of high quality, and usually that's because of the big competition that you have with other people. You need to make sure that you stand out or have at least a very good quality, maybe content on YouTube or something else that you do. Maybe if you're, in healthcare that I have a background in, or anything really. You need to get it just right, otherwise you can't compete. And this perfectionism then might actually lead to the next drawback, which is fear of failure. Why would you have fear of failure? Well, if you know that things have to be a certain level or a very high level or even perfect, then it's kind of scary to begin with because you feel like you have to be great at the very first try, otherwise you already not good enough. So that fear of failure sometimes can even lead to you not wanting to try anymore at all, and that's of course very sad. So that's something that you might actually experience if you have an obsession with success. The last drawback I want to talk about is putting too much value in materialistic things. I think that's a part of society's problem right now anyway, but I think that if you have an obsession with success, you might kind of do that more than other people, because you feel like you have more value if you have materialistic things like a great car or a big house or that Lord of the Rings sword I was talking about. So I see that in people, but I'll talk about that more in just a bit. Well, I said stuff like I see that in other people, but actually I see it in myself too, and of course that's kind of one of the reasons that I made this video. So I'm not going to pretend that I'm this amazing person who doesn't do any of these things, because that is not true. A good example would be, I guess, even this YouTube channel, because I feel like I have to deliver good quality content to you guys so that you hopefully like what I'm putting out. And I'm even the only person actually in my social circle who decided to make a YouTube channel in the first place. So it's kind of an abnormal path as well, which makes me feel a bit more alone, but also like I need to prove myself to people that I'm making this work and I'm contributing something, and I'm gonna get success out of this. So already making this first video is kind of nerve-wracking, and I really, at least hope, of course, that people are gonna watch and you guys are gonna like this. But even like me, or you like the content, so I worry about freaking everything. Yeah, which was kind of clear from this video, I guess. But that's a great example of this. So if you struggle with this as well, you are not alone. You are not alone. So what the heck do I do when I feel like this, and what can you guys do as well? Firstly, you go cry in a corner. No, I'm kidding. Firstly, think about what your definition of success is. So I already talked about what I think that the society's definition of success is, which is more of the materialistic kind. But you can also think about maybe having success is being kind towards people, or doing good, being charitable, or even I don't know, be a psychologist, for instance, and help people when they are very down on themselves. So you can see success in different ways. And I think it's important for you when you are obsessed with a kind of success to see if it's really what you want to be successful in and if it's in line with your personal values. Don't let yourself get distracted by society's norm too much, if possible. I know it's hard because I struggle with it too, but I think it's important to look inward and see what you really want out of life. The next tip, what I have, is being okay with yourself. Thinking that you are good enough like you are right now. And I know it sounds incredibly corny, and usually I'm not into very corny stuff, but I think it's corny for a reason, because it's true. I think that if you think you are good enough as you are right now, then you're more likely to go on your journey towards getting success in the subject that you want out of a positive place, because you feel like you don't go forward because you're not good enough, which is what I sometimes have, but you go forward because you want to get better. It's kind of a more positive thinking mindset or twist on it. And I truly believe that that is the first step to actually achieving a goal or success that you want. The next tip that I have is doing something that you love. Well, why is this a tip? I think that if you do something that you love, you get better or get success in this subject because you love spending time on it and because you are fascinated by the aspects of this subject, and you want to get better simply because you love the subject, you want to grow in it. And I think that if you bear this tip and the previous tips in mind, then you go forward from a positive mindset. You love the things that you do, and if things go not completely the way that you want it to, you can be okay with yourself and just keep on going from a positive place because you want to get better. So you don't beat yourself up over it if it's not perfect or if you make a mistake. If you could relate to the things that I just said, then please leave a like or comment on this video because I would love to hear your take on things. Thank you for listening to my struggles. I hope you found it insightful and maybe even a little bit entertaining, because of course I don't know what your thing is. Subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications for the next video about imposter syndrome. Hopefully that will be insightful as well, because I know a lot of people struggle with this. Again, thank you for listening, and I see you next time. Bye bye. The, Isabel, you should say the, because you're super Dutch, yes? You say the. Do you even English? I kinda do.